All right. How's it going? There's a lot of light. And I'm not more awake than yesterday. But we've got some news. Hello, MB. Hello, how's it going? We've got some news from like 14 minutes ago. Okay, 14 minutes ago. So if you have not looked at your news, MB, you might be surprised. Trump agreed to suspend bombing and attack of Iran, fucking hell, for 2 weeks. Yep. That's where we are. So there's allegedly a ceasefire. And I'm saying allegedly because I have no faith in Trump not being a retard. And I also have no faith in the IRGC to not fucking slam anything that moves. Because right now it's like the division commander in control, so it's going to be lit. And I mean, I'm sure you saw his fucking comments. Did you see his comments that he made today? Like his fucking tweet or truth or whatever the fuck it's called? If you didn't see it, it's worth. Trump. I don't want to check his fucking truth. No? Okay. Yep. Trump says a whole civilization will die tonight if no deal is reached with Iran. What the fuck? Like... okay. Atomic bomb Iran, pretty much. Like, okay, that's where I always wanted to go. So, normally, when you want to claim that someone or something is doing a genocide, you need a few components, right? We can go get the official definition, okay? I want the one. Why do I have it in fucking Spanish? Okay. So, you need these things. No, that's not. That's the one. Okay. Or is it? Fucking hell. Nope, that's not it. I'm not going to find it. There's a real fucking definition. Okay, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Anyway. The way... Maybe I'm retarded. Anyway, what you need... Normally, where I want to go, okay? Normally, you need, like, to kill people. You need to want to destroy, like, them on, like, some kind of ethnic basis. You want to... you actually do the moves to go forward in order to do that fucking genocide. And you also need to have the intent of genocide. So if you, for example, cut a water source, and your intent is not to kill people, but just to fucking cut the water source... It's not genocide if there's not the intent. And that's a big thing, right? The last one is like the hardest one to get. That's why it's a little bit hard to apply it to like Israel. Where like Do they have the intent to fucking kill everyone and to wipe out, like, Palestine? I mean, I'll leave it up to you. But when Trump says this... like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how is this not genocidal intent? How? I need help. Oh my god. Anyway. Alright. Enough talk about genocide. I did the littlest. Is that based on race or something else like that? It's just oil proximity. True! If only. If only. Like... so not a genocide. Okay. I know you're joking. Like... with Bush, okay? Even if they... like, the meme was they're there to get the oil. And at least you... like, you can say... Bush is smart enough to attempt to get the oil. Trump is too retarded for it. Like, that wasn't the actual goal. But who cares? Alright. I added a few things. First thing is they changed the close range system call. So essentially, when you have a bunch of file descriptor, you're going to use the close range system call. So we remember file descriptors are what your process uses in order to access files. So when you request a file, it creates a file descriptor, and when you close a file, it closes the file descriptor. So a lot of programs will do these actions in huge fucking ranges, but the issue is that some file descriptors inside of those ranges could already be closed. So if that's the case, the prior implementation would take time to process these. So the real time of running close range was O of the range size. And now with the new optimization, it's actually O of the number of active file descriptors in the range. Well, that's cute. That's fun. Bush didn't want to kill the slave workers. Trump doesn't care and will use that to reduce unemployment. When you say slaves, workers, do you mean like illegal immigrants? I'm confused. I'm confused on what level of meme you are. But hey. No, I fucking hate Trump. Holy shit. This guy needs to fucking... people working on Iran-Iraq oil field. Well... it's true, he doesn't care. Like, the big issue with Trump is that he's too retarded. Forget it, just a bad joke. It's okay, I'm slow today. I'm not overthinking it. I'm thinking about everything else, okay? Medication doesn't fucking work. Yes, he is retarded. Okay, we agree. That's good. Like, I'm memeing. But the more we think about it, a Canadian empire needs to happen, okay? We need fucking Emperor Emperor Marconi, okay? He needs... We need California, okay? California was always Canadian. It has always been Canadian. I mean, Trump said it. The border looks suspicious. Oh man, if only. Anyway. Another thing, just to yap again about what the fuck I did the research about. So in S390, there was a massive rewrite, and that's like, when I say massive, it's like fucking insane. So they did a massive rewrite of the KVM memory management code. So S390 had a weird way to handle KVM memory management, where it would have like its own little code and environment where it was not possible to have huge pages, or it was excessively limited, and it didn't use a lot of the like generic facilities, generic methods, functions that every other, well, part of the kernel, part of an architecture uses. So it made it like garbage. Let's put it that way. So there was an IBM dev that says, fuck it. He rewrote it all. And essentially now it works like all of the other. So, and it's like an insane, like 30 patch thing. Okay, we can take a look. But, hey, bucko. Okay, fuck me then. Why is there that much spaces? S390 is in the main frame. Not every dev has access to that. True. And I checked it. I thought, I don't know why I thought of it like that, but I thought that they were like dead. They were like legacy and something that like in the early 2000s were completely dead. That's not true. They're still around and kicking. Like they still release mainframes. And the insane part is that they're still compatible with the code that was made like fucking trillions of years ago. So, yeah. But, like, 28 patches. And in there, there's, like, unhinge, big, we delete everything. Mainframe are GOAT, they will not die. True. I like the idea of, like, my understanding of S390 is essentially we have redundancy for the redundancy with the redundancy and an on-call IBM agent. it's literally that. Like there's is it on the IBM website? Not history. Like of course they're going anyway, on the IBM website I think that they say like, oh, if you buy a new one, it has redundancy, and we will come to your fucking house whenever it fails because it automatically calls us. That's like, we're there. That's pretty good. I love it. Anyway, that's a fun thing. So, big change. And just remove the spaces because it's disgusting. I did a lot of research, god damn. What else did I search? You can now change the tux. How do people say it in English? Tux? Tux? Linux? Tux? Tux? Linux? Tux? Tux? Tuxedo? Tux? Tuxedo? No, tux. Tux, that's in French. Okay, we're good. Yeah, Rust experiment done. Rust is here to stay. I don't even know what to say. Oh, in network, there was something kind of interesting. So, well, let's just read it because I think it's done cleanly. Congestion control, like Swift, requires to have the time of each packet that goes in and out of the network interface. This is done by a function called time counter underscore CYC. Well, cycle to time, I guess. I won't fucking read it, but anyway. Now it turns out that inlining the function, telling the compiler to copy the code of the function instead of calling the function, gives us a 12% improvement in a stress test. This is a great catch, but keep in mind, inlining functions is only useful in the most odd of paths. Most odd paths. I guess I'll word this. In the oddest of odd paths. Code that will be executed 99% of time. This would normally be caught by traditional optimization method. Are you fucking kidding me? Why did it... It was asking me to correct it yesterday. No, this morning, I mean. Is it because, like, French-Canadian... Not French-Canadian, but English-Canadian and English-US is different for optimization? I don't know, I always use the Z and I was like, what the fuck is this? Optimization equals US. Optimization equals Canadian. Okay, I prefer with the Z. Optimization method, but Nick driver are compiled as modules, which makes it so the traditional tools don't work. That's a cute little find. But like the 12% improvement to a stress test is a 12% improvement in like pure we're trying to max 100 gigabit network interface. So it's kind of unhinged. Like, let's go take a look at the oh fuck. Oh, they have the patch. Okay. I think that's the thing. Let me go get you the patch that talks about this. And that's Eric. Oh no. It talks about it at the start and I'm a retard. Where the fuck did I get this? Anyway, that's why everything must be in the kernel. True! Make a fucking kernel that weighs so much you have to wait a couple of seconds before your machine really boots. That's a good meme. That right here. That that looks like that explains everything. Like, just fucking use it, bro. Just compile it. But yeah, like, it's pretty impressive. It's not a test strictly for this. It's a test of like the whole UDP thing. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, it's cool. It's cool. So what's next? What's the next thing that I search? Was that all? Was that all? Where were we in that yesterday? Oh, we didn't have any of this yesterday, right? Did we? We were like at there, and I put this into Word this morning. We were stuck at folio. Okay. Let me fucking read this and we'll see if it makes sense. Okay. I made this morning while working, so I mean, I probably have less of a mind for this anyway. Okay, the folio clearing code has an upgrade, We can now clear pages in contiguous fashion. This also allows us to expose the extent, length, to the CPU, if the architecture can handle it through specific instructions, which can yield more performance. Yeah, I don't have more explainer there than clearing, length, extent, and architecture. Okay, that's pretty much all I can say about this. I read it again and again. There's like no way for me to explain this correctly. New alloc config frozen page and CMA alloc frozen compound allows for huge optimization when creating huge folios. With every page in folios, the kernel keeps a ref count. This ref count... Bro, wrong direction. Okay. This ref count allows us to know if a specific page or folio can be freed. If you... Oh, okay. So that's just so that I explain it and I show it on screen. So if you do +1, if you use it, you do +1. If you don't need it anymore, you do -1, and you free when you reach 0. Now, if we look at the page cache, it's a subsystem made to cache huge pages. It may act upon a page atomically with a function that will increment the ref count by 1 only if the ref count isn't 0. I assume that I've explained atomically earlier in the episode. If that's not the case, I'll explain it there. This is where frozen pages come in. Frozen pages are pages that the kernel will voluntarily keep the ref count to 0 in order to avoid any other subsystem, like page cache, to touch it. To prevent, that's probably better, prevent any other subsystem like page cache to touch it. I'll reword this, I guess. So here, the change was the use of frozen pages, frozen compound pages, in order to allocate the folio. Before, you would have interference while allocating the folio, where now this interference is removed by the use of the frozen feature. Huge performance gain. Allocation time for 121 gig folios went from 3.6 seconds down to just 0.4 seconds. Wow, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Like I didn't know about frozen folios and frozen pages. Like I didn't know that it meant putting the ref count to 0. I learned that this morning and it felt pretty good to know. So yeah, that's cool. So another thing that I thought was boring, but I was just sleepy. ZRAM. ZRAM can now compress its write back. So ZRAM is a kernel subsystem that allows us to set up a block device that is compressed, stored in RAM, and that can have the backing of another block device. ZRAM can be used as swap or as simple as a simple block device. And that's pretty cool. Like just that, I didn't know that. But you can mount, like, you can absolutely just mount ZRAM like just a RAM disk. So if ever, like, further on in kernel info, like we're gonna probably have like our implementation fairly well done if we want to, like, if we want to use it, if we want to use kernel info with machines that have a little bit less RAM, it will be possible. Like, it won't just kill itself, which is kind of cool. So we can, we're going to be able to bake something with that. A write back. Oh, I guess I'm explaining this, so I'll write it on screen. A write back is when ZRAM takes data that wasn't used for a long time or that might not be compressible from memory and sends it to its backing block device. Before, when a write back occurred, ZRAM would have to decompress the data and copy it uncompressed into the backing block device. We now have the ability to skip that step and store the data compressed. ZRAM is a big deal. The average compression achieved when used as swap is 1 to 3, which means that when configured correctly, we can get a device that is suffering RAM-wise to perform while using a memory hog like Google Chrome. You can use cat/proc/swaps to check if you do use ZRAM. I bet you do. Alright. Transcribing movies. Yes, MB, yes. Oh man. I'm not a movie guy, so that's probably why I... like, it feels so foreign to me, but I know a lot of people do it. Removal of swap... Bro, did I have a stroke? Removal of old swap code that was limiting performance. In a severe RAM-limited benchmark, it yielded a 20% performance gain. What the fuck? How do we know if the swap file is ZRAM? I'll show it on screen whenever I'll tell people to run the command. I think that's pretty fucking clear. So spoiler, MB, you ain't. Yep. I'll show it on screen, don't worry. Okay. Really? Okay, that's a retarded setup. You really need to install ZRAM. And what you should do is you should use your... Instead of your swap, your traditional swap, you put your swap under ZRAM. So that way you have more performance. No RAM for ZRAM. Well, that's not how it works. Right? Like, ZRAM itself, like, this is your memory. ZRAM, when you start, when you have nothing into it, it starts at 0. It doesn't take any place. And whenever your RAM grows, and you... Like, I have no fucking clue how swappiness work, okay? I'm not going to pretend, but when the swappiness value triggers, and they're like, holy shit, we gotta put something in swap. ZRAM comes in. ZRAM must be the other way, okay? ZRAM comes in, and we'll take your thing from here, and we'll shove it inside of itself, and it will reduce that part, right? We'll do this, right? So that's the idea of ZRAM. You don't need RAM for ZRAM to work. And now even better, if you link your backing device, your original swap, to ZRAM, then if it finds that it doesn't have a good result, or that you don't use something very often, it will just fucking throw it elsewhere. Based. I know you didn't do the setup, but don't say no RAM for ZRAM when it's not true. And don't translate optimization wrong. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. Optimization to the... Oh, on my other computer. Why? It's so retarded. And like, I gotta say, my system makes no sense. In which world do I need ZRAM? I got fucking 32 gigs. Why? Like, I don't get how they set up their thing, but ZRAM is good. We should just put it everywhere. Should just, like, bite it. Alright. I guess there's a limit where it does not make sense, as we will always swap to disk anyway. Well, okay. Like, this feels right. Like, I hear that and I'm like, yes, makes sense. But then when you think about it, ZRAM was like the thing when computers had like 2 gigs, right? So in what world where compression has become better and less of a cost, where things are more likely to be more compressible because we're dealing with things that are like less optimized in the user space, in what fucking world would an 8 gig machine not gain from ZRAM? Like, there's a gap there. Like, maybe the fear is that if you have that low memory, you might have a very bad CPU, and their fear is that using the CPU for compression would fuck you. Well, it has no limit. 8 gigs or less. Suggestion is 50% of RAM and ZRAM. And more memory, less pressure. My initial assessment was wrong. I'm not sure if I'm understanding. Oh, okay, I think I'm getting what you're getting at. Yes, if you have more memory, you should not put the same percentage-wise of your system under ZRAM, because you would be compressing something that is absolutely useless to compress. But where ZRAM might help you, even if you have a lot of memory, is if you have a laptop. Because if you have a laptop and you are using swap, your write-backs will literally use more power because you will write more shit onto your disk and you will get more out. So like ZRAM, instead of RAM is just, instead of having like bigger shit in RAM and bigger things to write to your swap, is literally just a winner. Anyway. I'm phrasing this like shit, I know. Optimization to folio reference 1, the function that checks and clears the young bit of a page table entry. This is used in the reclaim code to scan the memory for folios to reclaim. The first pass it clears the young bit, the second it clears the memory. The original implementation was reading the PTEs sequentially, which wasted a lot of time, especially when it came to file-backed folios. Now it has the ability to read them in a batched operation, and at the same time, use Arch-specific optimization. The same idea was also used for batch unmapping of folios. This yielded a 75% gain with ARM64 and 50% in x86 in a narrow-tailored benchmark. It seems that Neon Plasma never installed ZRAM, so I must have installed it myself on my other laptop. Fair. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of versions of Ubuntu that actually didn't put ZRAM into it. Because I remember when I was starting off, like it was a thing that you needed to install. It was like the act to be able to have more memory. So, yeah. I was debating in my head if I make this... I want to see that on Discord, but just before. Well, no, not just before. I'll look. I guess I can read this on stream. Fedora and Pop! OS are the Linux distribution that enables swap on ZRAM by default. Fedora starting release 33, July 2019. Fedora Workstation includes ZRAM for swap by default using the ZRAM generator tool. Pop! OS, the distribution, enables ZRAM swap by default out of the box. Most other major distributions like Arch Linux, Ubuntu, Debian, OpenSUSE typically do not enable ZRAM by default, though they often provide tools like ZRAM generator or ZRAM tool to easily configure it manually. Wait, which installer did I use to install my thing? Because it did came with ZRAM. I guess it would be written here somewhere. Like in the apps. I feel like I'm doxing myself. Like I should see something about it. OpenTTD. Ready or not. That is a game. Wait. Okay. I guess I just installed it using some shit. Some DB installs ZRAM if I remember correctly. Well, the thing with ZRAM is you don't have to install it. You have to generate it, right? So it's a... like, it's an active thing. Like, I would doubt that by... like, suggest... yes, I agree, but... what I mean is... sorry, I heard weird sound. What I mean is it's not a dependency, right? That would be retarded. Nobody would support that. God damn, I'm unable to think today. Like all days when I'm sleepy. What the fuck? Yeah, I think tomorrow I might just try to film the kernel video while on stream. For the same reason I gave the last time, which is... I think I'm not going to reread my shit. Not a dependency, but improved performance for memory-intensive app, like DB. Oh, I would agree with that. Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking in a way that I... like, you're not thinking in the same way that I'm thinking, so that's why, okay. The question that I had and that I didn't verbalize was, why the fuck does my Arch have ZRAM? Right. Right, and the question that you were trying to answer is, why does your system has it? So when you said DB, I was thinking of myself like, when did I read fucking documentation about DB and installed ZRAM for optimization? I didn't do that. So that's why I was like giga confused. But you were talking about you. Stop thinking that you're the center of attention, Maple. Oh, man. I don't know. Like most of the time, whenever I start filming these, what happens is that I find out that my research in most things is fucking garbage. And I have to redo the research on a bunch of things. Okay, we wanted to put FS on the top, but memory management is pretty good. Let's push memory management up a bit. Let's put it just under FS. Go back to the Linux kernel script. Okay, okay. What the fuck does that even mean? What part of this? What part of this is not like pure ADHD? Or ADD? Like, I'll be you. ADHD medication. I'll just go back to the Linux kernel script every 2 minutes. Oh, okay, okay. That's fair. That quote just fucking broke my brain. But yeah, but like the problem is, okay, when I say that, like, I'll find that the research is bad, it's good that I make more research, right? I need to. Or else I'll say things that are not true. But yeah. Like, what happens? Like, the thing that happens is I'm like, oh, like the block device works in this way. And I'm like, I say it out loud. I'm like, do they? Do they really work this way? And I go and I Google it. I'm like, okay. Half the time I'm like, they don't work this way. I'm a retard. Back to the drawing board. And that's going to be a whole fucking feeling for preempt. You know what? Let's just set ourselves up for tomorrow. Does Audacity work? When you find that you need more detail and understanding, it goes to research more. Yeah. The problem is I feel like I need to do double the research, but maybe this is getting better because I have more of an understanding. Who knows? Does this work? Does this work? Does this? Thank you. Does this work? It does. The sound is garbage though. Like, I make so much edit to my sound for it to sound good on the video. Like, I go ahead and I do, is it high pass or low pass? Nope, it's high pass. Alright. I go with the high pass filter. I go with the thing that fucks a bunch of things up. No, not the click removal. It's the noise removal. Noise reduction. Get noise profile. Then we apply it on everything. Boom. I'm probably forgetting something. I wrote it all somewhere. Like, we have truncate silent that I use to be able to compress the silence. Then oh, what I should have done before was, oh, limiter is at the end. We have noise gate. Gotta do the noise gate. We put a little bit of boost. Where's the tempo? Tempo 5%. And then we push it through the limiter to have some big waveform. And there we go. Okay. Does this work? Does this work? Cleanest fucking sound, alright? It took so long to get there. I'm happy that it does record though. We're gonna do some fucking things tonight. Why don't you have... don't you save the setup once you have one? Oh, brother, I did. The problem is that the setup is so complex that it's pretty much as simple. Fuck, I removed it. I had a setup where I used the macros to do it, but because there's so many steps, and the steps require me to like select part of the things sometime, that it was useless to use the automatic setup. Like just noting it down was the best thing I could do. And it's in vid setting, where everything is put down. Like high pass filter, noise reduction, noise gate, limiter, truncate silence. At the end you change the tempo. The colors that I use. I have the size for PowerPoint. If I want like a 2K resolution like I use. In inches. And the fonts. I got everything. If I'm not mistaken, Oswald, I use it because it's the same font as the Linux as kernel.org. I have Oswald. Eh, I didn't go far for this one, eh? I was like, you know what? Let's take a font that people will be like, why does it feel familiar? Oh, I'm lazy. Goddamn. Yep, tomorrow's going to be a big day. I hope I'm not sick. My daughter is getting sicker. She's not like... I never noticed it, sorry. I appreciate that you took the effort. For what? The sound or the font? The font? Oh. Well, the font is just a stylized thing because I don't have a... I don't know if you're like me. Maybe you're not. I don't have a view for what is good looking. I'm not good at that, right? There's some people that are just able to fucking frame a shot, right? They're just good at that, at making things look good. I'm not good at that. So the issue when choosing a font is that almost all fonts that I could choose will look like shit unless I go and choose one that has been chosen by somebody that knows more than me. And that's what I thought about the kernel. I was like, those people, when they did the title, they're not retarded, okay? There's too much smart people that looks at this screen so that this is retarded, okay? It cannot be. So that's pretty much how I go about things. And that's also how I chose the colors. Like the gray was just chosen. And the other color were like variations of things I saw that was working on YouTube. And that were not like too aggressive on screen. This is why your face was on the other side of the screen at first for the live stream. Yes! It's because I have no view for that. Like, I'm blind to that. And it would make sense, right? I mean, I always think that it helps. So there's some artists that are like me for this. I don't know how they do, but like it probably helps to be able to close your eyes and see a thing, right? If you're able to, like, when you say visualize, like if you're able to truly visualize a thing before it exists, it probably helps. I worked on that with the photography club. I guess that would help too. What the fuck is this? I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going to be hard. Like when we will do the website, that's going to be a hard one. Like to make things look good. And I don't necessarily want to rip off the entirety of fucking Bootlin. Like there's a part of me that, well, maybe they have their optics right. Like of course we need to change a little bit the color scheme, but maybe. We will need to recruit a graphic designer. True. I guess. I don't know. I guess if we're smart about how we design this, the design part will be easy to change. So, no big issue. And being smart is... Nah. Being smart is our thing, okay? We're smart. We're smart. Ask an LLM to suggest the design and color. I don't know, I feel like when you do that, you'll end up with like the most generic thing ever. Oh, that's so good. I didn't see that one. Like Can you think about fucking Mark Carney waking up, watching his fucking feed, okay? And he sees Trump, I'll destroy an entire civilization if there's no deal tonight, and being like, fuck. I need to make a statement on this. Maybe guys, if I may, we need to chill the fuck out. Fuck might have been the word you choose. True. Like, there's some things that I would like to be released. Like, now that Biden is out of office, we know that he was a big fuck enjoyer, okay? He loves saying fuck. So there's literally like, not scripts, but like there's quotes of him and there's recordings of him like fucking going through, like I think the example that I had was when he was trying to get Israel and Netanyahu to actually give aid to the people he was actively fucking striking the fuck down. Like, the fucking transcript is like, what a fucking bunch of liars. Like, he's fucking flipping the fuck out. Anyway, it's funny to think about these people. Like, you see them so composed, so perfect. Like, behind the scene, they're just like all of us, okay? They come out and they're like, what the fuck is this? Oh, man. This is crazy. Oh my god, and I saw this. Vance, the vice president, went to Hungary to, like, help Orban. And Orban's is a, like, he's actively trying to destroy the democracy there. So, whew, that's a rough one. But our markets are doing well. I'll skedaddle the fuck out. I'm too sleepy for this, but yeah. We're doing good. Well, I'm doing good. I'm only invested in TD right now. TD is fucking a strong sing, okay? It's strong. I love TD. Anyway. Enough memes, enough memes. Love talking to you. Tomorrow, if you're there, we'll try to do it live. Like, if I don't do it, it's because I'm sick as fuck. I'll leave you a message. Just so you don't fucking expect the stream. And if you're not there, it's okay too. Right? I'm saying that, but I'm always living with the possibility that I'll be chatting alone. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. So, thank you. Tomorrow mid-morning. I was thinking, or later. Mid-morning is probably it. Like, the problem is that, well, the 5-second explainer. You'll know more about my life, okay? So, when I wake up and I'm off the job, I wake up at 8. Okay, that's fucking late for me, okay? I wake up at 8. At 8:30. 8:30. Daughter gotta go, okay? Daughter is going to see the kindergarten. And after that, like, there is a non-zero possibility that I'm still sleepy. So when I'm still sleepy, what I do is I'm smart enough to be like, okay, I'll go do the groceries. Or I'll go do something else. So, like, this is why sometime my stream will be, like, fucking 8:51. And some other time it will be 10. It's because of that. But I would doubt... I would be surprised if I start later than like 10:30. Even if I go out and do the groceries, which I don't really feel like I want to do. But I maybe need to do. So, somewhere between 8:30 and 10. I'm sorry. That's... It's hard for me to know. I don't know how fucked I'll be tomorrow. Maybe I'll wake up and I'll be sick as fuck. Who knows? But hey, like I said, drop in whenever you're there and we'll have fun. Alright, love you. Bye-bye. Don't sleep too much, but still sleep.